White shot high noon, heat bending the air like glass. The desert road with hot wind, kicking grit across your boots as you cross that dead stretch. Half-buried statues lay crooked in the sand. Holy shapes cracked open, stone eyes hollow like they've been watching sinners for centuries. You walk past them slow, go slapping your back like a tired preacher's warning. Your breath thick with dust and no mistakes. The wind circled your legs and died. Quiet as a prayer, nobody answered, disturbing. That was when the ground shook, soft at first, like the desert itself was thinking about speaking your name. Them statues tore out of the sand, standing tall like ghosts that remember their glory. Not blessing you, not judging you, just turning towards your trail, admitting you walk with a law no book ever wrote. Even saints follow the man who follows his own law. They felt it on your boots, on your spine, on the way you keep moving, even when the desert asks you to die slow. Even saints follow the man who follows his own law. The conversation with dust, my congregation, sand settling in your heels like it was Boeing, like the desert was tired of challenging you. One statue leaned toward you, face cracked, mouth broken open in a soundless question. You muttered, I ain't here for worship. The wind carried your words, dropped them right into the hollow throat of that saint. For a moment, its eyes glowed with the last light of some forgotten heaven, then dimmed, like it understood exactly what kind of man you were. But the choice you carry, you kept your hand to your belt, not for fear, but for memory. You whispered to the sand, I walk because I got debts to settle. In the desert, listen. Silent guardians of a man they couldn't read. A man too wild for scripture, too steady for hell, too scarred to pretend he needs forgiveness. They rose not to lead you, but to witness you, because every step you take rewrites the dirt beneath it. Even saints follow the man who follows his own law. And as you walked on into that burning horizon, your shadow stretched long like a road heaven didn't dare draw itself. Shot deep inside that stone cold cavern, a bone crown floated, bleach white and wicked, every tooth on it grinning like it knew the taste of weak men. The air was damp, Smell like wet rock mixed with sins. I ain't washed off yet, I walked in slow. Cold dragging dust across the floor like a tide of ghosts follow me. That crown spun above my head, ready to drop, ready to drain, ready to claim whoever stepped in here wanted something they couldn't hold. I don't want what wants me, but I didn't reach, didn't flinch, didn't dream of wearing it. And that was the first time it hesitated. Throw up! Throw up! The crown shook like some nature realizing they picked the wrong man. Then it dropped to the stone of my feet, not as a gift, but as surrender. Thrones bow to the man who bows to none. I bowed my last to kings, to fear, to the ghost behind my ribs. Thrones bow to the man who bows to none. I said it low, and the cave echoed it back like scripture. The ritual reached the vigil. I crouched by the fallen crown, bones humming like it hated the ground it touched. I ran a hand across its edge, cold enough to freeze the worst parts of me in place. I whispered, if you came for worship, you came the wrong sinner. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The crown flickered like a dying animal, trying to understand a man impossible to use. And for a heartbeat, I felt it fear me. I stood up slow, dust falling off my coat like abandoned vows. The shadows leaned in, asking which path I'd take. I told them, whichever one ain't looking for a master. We're nothing, become everything. We're nothing. Not broken by my hand, but broken by my refusal. Power that needs a throne ain't power I trust. Power that kneels, that's the kind I can walk beside. I left it sitting there in the dust, glowing faint like a burden I finally put down. Thrones bow to the man who bows to none. And I walked out of that cavern crownless, but heavier with my own damn strength. Wide shot down in a rock-cut hollow, lay a dead star cracked like cold iron, left to drown at night. Red veins glow through busted metal, flickering like old blood, trying to remember how to move. Folks try swinging hammers at it years before, looking for power they didn't earn. Most of them still rotting under the stones around it. I stood a few steps back, breath tasting like midnight and bad memories, just watching it sit there like a caged beast that ain't decided who to trust. The shadow test,
and my shadow slid across its face.
Not a word said,
not a muscle moved.
But that star, it woke to me.
Power recognized.
like a wounded animal sniffing out a man who ain't scared of teeth. It rolled once, then again, straight to my boots like it knew damn well who I was. Power don't chase cowards, power don't serve beggars. Power bends to a man who stands unafraid. Power serves a man who stands unafraid. I said it quiet, but the whole canyon heard it.
Ritual of claiming,
Ritual of claiming.
the star post warm against my foot, warmer than any desert sun I've bled under. I crouched, laying a scarred hand on its edge, and it shivered like metal remembering fire. I whispered, if you burn me, honest. The light answered, crawling on my arm like a vow I didn't know how to break. Every crack on the surface drew tight, pulling together like it wanted a new purpose. And it chose mine.
Stand in the glow.
I stood up slow, dust falling from my coat.
And for a moment the whole ravine leaned toward me, as if waiting to see if I'd take the weight I asked for.
Take what chooses you.
That falling star rolled closer, settling by my heel like a loyal beast ready for a long road. It didn't roar, didn't blind me, just glowed enough to show the path I've been avoiding. I didn't bow, I didn't thank it, I just reached down and claimed what already chose me. Power serves the man who stands unafraid. And I stood unafraid, even if it meant burning for it.
Some fires choose you. You either step back
Or step into him, and I stepped in. And I stepped in.
Take what chooses you. Take what chooses you. Take what chooses you. Take what chooses you. And I stepped in.
Wide shot, an old graveyard half buried in sand. Gates made of bone strung together with rust-bit chains. The whole place held its breath, only the sound of metal cracking miles away, riding the wind toward him. He walked slow, boots pressing down on thin, brittle dirt, like he was stepping on memories that never quit haunting. Each step felt heavy, the kind of heavy a man earns from sins he never confessed. Ground that remembers, ground that remembers. He got one step from the gate, and the ground shivered just enough to say it recognized him. Death gives way. Death gives way. Them chains cracked on their own links, dropping like verdicts undone. The bone they swung, quiet as a prayer. listen moves. He stepped through the threshold and the air shifted. Cooler, older, thick with names carved into stones nobody visits. A lantern made of ribs flickered near his boot, and he knelt down, wiping dust off a cross half swallowed by the earth. He whispered not a prayer, just a promise to himself. Ain't running no more. The graves answered with a low hum, bones settling like they approved the ritual. The stand in the dust. He rose slow, coat lifting in the wind, and for a second the whole graveyard leaned toward him like it was waiting on what he'd do next. Walk on even here. Death opened its doors, 'cause he didn't slow, didn't stutter, didn't break. Even the old bones knew a man who owns his past ain't owned by it. He walked through that gate like it belonged to him, and every grave bowed a little in the wind. Death gives way to the man who keeps walking, and he kept walking, 'cause the only way out of any hell is straight through the middle of it. The sky above that wasteland looks split like torn skin. Black blood dripping down in heavy hissing lines. Wind kicked grit across my jaw, smelling like rust and all the sins I never buried right. I stood there with my head hung low, breath heavy like I've been dragging winter inside my chest. The land whispered at my back, boy, you ain't got nobody left but you. That sky blood hit my boots, cold as a gravestone, cold as the truth I've been avoiding. So I raised my head, no shake, no bling, just stare straight into that biggest rip in the heavens, like staring into my own damn wall. Wounds don't win out. Wounds don't win. Wounds don't win out. Wounds don't win. Wounds don't win out. And the sky twitch, then stitch itself shut, 'cause I faced it first. All that blood, all that guilt, every ghost step back a pace. If the heavens can mend when I look them dead in the eye, then hell, so can I. Wounds heal for the man who doesn't hide from them. I said it to the dark, but the dark said it back. Ritual of that, turn the glass at my feet, showing me that old version of myself. Red eye worn down, ready to quit before the story even starts. I knelt, not to beg, but to wash my face with water heaven bled. The taste was iron, old and bitter, but I swallowed it, 'cause every scar I earned belongs to me. The sky heard me breathe steady and mean, and the last rib seam pulled shut with a thin blue light like a cold church blessing. Stood back up, dust falling on my coat like ash from a life I finally burned right. Night asked me, you think you'll make it? I answered, think. I ain't thinking, I'm moving. sealed shut and left me in the hush. Not safe and not blessed, just honest. A pale light fell on my shoulders. Not warm, not merciful, just enough to say you're still standing. Keep walking. I clenched my fist, felt the dry blood flake on my skin. Didn't wipe it off, left it there. My own outlaw ritual. Every wound is a map if you don't run from it. Wounds heal for the man who doesn't hide from them. I whispered again, and this time I meant it.
Step into that dead valley where 100 skeletons stand in rows, mouth sewn shut with wire, eyes hollow like they ain't never known life or mercy. Folks said those bones don't speak, said they ain't got nothing left to say. But the wind follows you, dragging your coat like a river of old sins, looking for somewhere to drown.
Then one jaw twitches, another wire snaps like a nerve losing its patience. The valley shifts and it sounds like metal or remembering pain. You stop for half a breath and that's when every mouth starts breaking open, like the land finally decided you were worth the noise. They scream your name loud as judgment, sharp as truth, echoing off stone. Not to warn you, not to worship you, just to mark the man who kept walking when nobody else did. Yeah, voices rise for the man who rises alone, and the wind carries your name like a promise that ain't ready to break.
Skull turns towards you, dust falling off it like memories trying to stand upright. You hear one voice speak clear, cut through the wind like a confession. You walk like someone who buried his fear and left no marker. You don't answer, this fear ain't something you talk back to, it's something you outlive. Another skull whispers, what law do you follow?
You brush dirt off your sleeve, look at the horizon crack like an old scar. My own and it don't bend. The whole line of skeleton lifts their head like a forgotten congregation, standing for a gospel only you can read. Their cries twist with the wind, a storm made out of names and old regrets, and still you don't flinch. They scream your name again, but this time it ain't fear, ain't more, it's recognition. Your steps make the valley breathe, your shadow makes the dead stand taller. You rise and every forgotten voice rises with you. Yeah, voices rises for the man who rises alone. And long after you're gone, the wind will still shout your name like it owes you the truth. got shot. I walked into that busted marble hall. The roof torn open, moonlight dragging its feet across the floor. Like a tired preacher looking for one last sermon, a ghost throne stood in the center, made of fog thick as bone dust, cold enough to freeze the sins right out of a man. Folks said every soul who touched it turned to powder, just fear giving up its body. But I didn't come for power, didn't come for salvation, just came to finish what the night kept starting. I stepped past it slow, boots scratching against stone like old memories clawing back. And before I even looked, my shadow climbed the throne like it'd been waiting longer than I've been alive. The whole damn room lit up, soft, cold like judgment without the anger. I didn't kneel, and that throne didn't dare call my name. It just opened like a door I never asked for, like truth bowing to a man too tired to lie. Power ain't something you chase, it's something that rises when you don't. Ghost band for the ones who stand still. Power recognizes the man who doesn't seek it. The throne speaks, but quiet, close shot. Fog swirled around my boobs, wrapping my legs like a lover who missed me and hated herself for it. A voice rose from the throne, thin as old paper burning slow. Why don't you want what others die for? I rested a hand on the armrest just long enough for frost to bite into my knuckles. Wanting is how men lose themselves, I told it, and I already lost enough. The fog tightened, not in anger, but in acceptance. The quiet ritual. The throne lowered itself an inch, not to offer, not to tempt, but like a beast acknowledging the one rider it won't buck. A ritual without words, a covenant without mercy. I stand at bows. I never sighed, and it never forced me. I broke through the broken roof like it wanted to see the truth for itself. A man standing, a throne waiting, neither one needing the other to feel whole. Power ain't a crown, ain't a gift, ain't a savior. It's a mirror for the ones who don't look into it. Yeah, ghosts bow to the man who won't bow back, and power recognizes the man who doesn't seek it. Why should I walked out, my shadow still seeking? I shot out, walked out, my shadow still sitting on that throne. white shot. I walked into that sunken temple, air thick as gravy smoke, thousands of dead candles lying like bones along the stone floor. Sap's cold as winter metal, though hell's heat pulsed somewhere deep behind the walls. Folks said no one ever lit 'em, not priests, not ghosts, not time itself. I stepped forward, boots echoing like a warning I didn't bother hearing. My breath hit that dead air and the first candle spark. No match, no touch, just me. The ritual I never learned. Second candle flared, then a third, then a whole damn line of them woke up. Each time my heel touched stone, it wasn't guidance, wasn't mercy, just recognition, like the dark saying you again. Hope lies for the men who don't beg for hope. Hope lies for the men who don't beg for hope. Hope lies for the men who don't beg for hope, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, those eternal candles burned in my footsteps, not leading me, just declaring I was still alive. Didn't plead for light, didn't whisper a prayer, I just walked, cold and honest. Hope sparks for the man who don't beg for hope. Fire rises for the soul that learned to cope. If darkness watches, let it, 'cause the flame follows the stubborn, not the broken. The voice behind the flames, close shot, shadows curled along the walls, moving like old sins, stretching their backs. The candles lit a path behind me, not ahead, 'cause the past always likes to see where I'm going. A voice rose from the dark, dry as dust on a coffin. Boy, what makes you think you're worth life? I stopped, ran a thumb across one of my scars, burning with truth instead of pain. I don't, I said, that's why it follows me. The flames flickered, like they understood the weight of illumination. More candles caught fire one by one, in a rhythm older than scripture, older than guilt. Life didn't save me, didn't forgive me, it just refused to leave me. The fire that walked behind me. Yeah, that ancient corridor burned awake for every step I made. Shadow and flame playing like wolves at my heels. Didn't promise heaven, didn't raise my sins, just marked the path of a man too damn stubborn to stop. Hold lights for the men who don't beg for hope. Hold lights for the men who don't beg for hope. Hold lights for the men who don't beg for hope. Rise for the boots that refuse to choke. If the world's dark, I'll walk through it, 'cause every flame behind me knows my name. I walked out of that temple slow, candles dying the moment I passed them, like even fire knew its job was done. Was done.
time lay dead on the floor. Wide shut, he stepped into that stone room. Moonlight leaking through a cracked ceiling, like God forgot one bruise of mercy above him. An old clock lay busted wide open on the floor. Gears scattered like bones from a body too tired to stay whole. Nobody fixed it. Hell, nobody dared touch it. His hand shook when he reached for the main gear. Last night's fire carved deep in his tendons, but he touched it anyway, 'cause a man don't run from what's already in him. Pulse before prayer, one tick, then another, slow, heavy, stubborn. Same rhythm as his heartbeat limping through his ribs. A clock didn't rise from magic, didn't rise over hope. It rose for the truth of him, a truth he carried like a wound he refused to hide. Yeah, that shattered clock beat with his heart, every gear moving like it owed him breath. He didn't beg the world to start again, he just stood there steady in his scars. Time returns to the man who owns his pulse, not the one who prays for mercy in the dust. If fate listens, let it listen. A heartbeat ain't a gift, it's a damn decision. The voice in the gear work. Close shot, gear spun slow, throwing shadows on the wall, like memories crawling back from the dark, trying to talk to him again. A whisper rose from behind the clock's frame, dry like a note sin waking up. Why you keep fighting time? He didn't lift his head, just answered with that low tide grit you hear from men who've been chased by their own days, 'cause it only hits the ones who stop moving. The clock ticked faster, as if it agreed. Seconds crawled back into place, gears slid into old grooves, and time stitched itself together in the shape of the man standing still. What beats Bill? Yeah, that shattered clock beat with his heart, pulling life out of blood instead of miracles. Didn't fix the past, it and promised the future. Just marched to the rhythm, he refused to surrender. Time returns to the man who owns his post. Roads open for the soul that won't convulse. If darkness waits, he'll walk through it, 'cause even broken moments answer to him now. Wide shot again, he turned from the room slow. Clock ticking steady behind him, like he'd been dead only because he hadn't arrived yet.
That black oak stood lonely in the center of the valley. Bark cracked like old bones, knots in the wood staring like trapped ghosts. Wind was throwing stones sideways, cutting dirt across my face like it wanted me gone. I walk beneath its branches, coat torn open from the miles I shouldn't survive. Storm roared louder, asking me if I was finally done. I whispered back, not tonight. And the whole damn oak shook, groaning deep like a creature waking up slow. Those branches bent down toward me, not to grab, not to judge, but to cover. Nature protects the man who won't break. Yeah, that black oak folded its arms around me, shielding my bones from a world that bites. Didn't beg for safety, didn't pray for mercy. I just stood there, cold and unmoving. Nature guards the man who stands like stone. Nature bends to one who won't be blown. Wind can scream, hell can push, but roots know truth. I ain't falling. Close shot, lightning cut across the valley, lighting up my scars like scripture I never asked to carry. The oak tightened its canopy, bark coming with something old, older than sin. The wind hissed at me, voice sharp as a preacher with bad intentions. You think you deserve shelter, boy? I spit blood into the dirt, watched it mix with the storm. Deserve no, but I'm still standing, that's enough. The tree creaked like it agreed, roots and reckoning. The storm hit harder, branches held firmer, and for the first time that night I felt something steady, not comfort, just recognition. Sometimes the world don't save you, it just respects you. That black oak wrapped me in its shadow, kept the fury on my back like an old friend of the dog. Didn't fix me, didn't lift me, just stood with me, same as I stood with it. Nature protects the man who stands like stone, who faces storms without asking for calm. If the wind wants war, it better bring more, cause roots bow first and I bow to none. I stepped out when the storm was done, leaving the oak behind me like a silent vow. And hell, the night felt lighter, cause I didn't.
Wide shot, that stone-toned cathedral looming like an empty judge. Walls cracked open, roof half gone, stained glass black as burned scripture. Every window dead, every shadow starving for another sinner. I walked up bleeding, cut still, whispering the names of men I should have never trusted. Drop one step on the stone threshold, cold enough to feel like a question. A drop of blood slid off my knuckle, hit the floor like a match thrown into a grave. The glow that didn't heal. Damn if the whole wall didn't breathe. Glass waking up like eyes too long shut. 'Cause you're invalid light cut through my wounds, not fixing them, just telling the truth. Light for the man who carries his own night. Yeah, that old stone cathedral lit up for me, burning bright through the cracks I came with. Didn't ask for mercy, didn't earn no grace, till the windows shine like they knew my name. Light don't save me, light just shows where I've been cut. Light awakens for the man who admits the dark in him and keeps walking anyway. The choir of shattered glass. Oh, shy the cymbal knocking on his own coffin. The storm hit the walls and for a split second, each shot of broken glass sang a cold, trembling hymn made out of my past mistakes. I stared up at the ruined altar, the wind whispered from behind me, voice low like a drunk preacher saying, "I dare you looking to be saved or seen." I laughed, bitter, cracked, honest, neither, I'm just here to stand. And the whole damn building stilled, like it finally believed me. No confession left to give. I didn't kneel, didn't bow, didn't cross myself. Just let the storm carve its truth across my scar. There ain't no gospel louder than a man who stands unhidden. The cathedral that chose the unholy. And that storm cathedral burned alive around me. Windows bright like angels remembering their teeth. Not to clean me, not to crown me, but to claim me as one of its own broken saints. Light don't chase my darkness off, it walks beside it, flares for it, stands with it. Light awakens for the man who admits the dark in him and won't shut his eyes to it. I stepped out into the storm, the doors closed slow behind me, and hell, the night never felt clearer.
wide shot. Dust crawling over an old church tower, chains of ash hanging off that dead bell like rotten prayers. Folks say only the dying hear it ring, but I ain't been scared of dying in a long damn while. I stood at the foot of it, boots buried in dust, older than my granddaddy's sins, breath held tight like I was waiting on a sentence I already knew I deserved. Silence wrapped me up, thick, heavy, holy, in its own crooked way. The held breath of God. The wind tried to move, and then thought better of it. Even the sky felt like it was holding its breath, just to see if I'd speak first. Silence rose when I claim it. That's when the bell screamed, 3 long notes rolling through the valley like ghosts waking up angry. No ropes, no hands, just sound born straight out of the quiet I refuse to break. Those chains rattle like judgment, just shook off the rafters, and something old turned its face toward me. Silence rose for the man who owns it, and Lord knows I own mine. Silence rose for the man who owns it. Ooh. Medium shot, me stepping inside that broken church. Moonlight slicing through the roof like a blade meant for truth. I ran my fingers over the cracked altar, felt the weight of every lie, never bothered confessing. A voice rose from the rafters, dry old shape like a warning, more than a word. I whispered back, if you got judgment, give it honest. The air froze, my shadow stretched long across the pews, touching every scar I tried to outrun. I knelt not to bow, but to pick up a chunk of fallen stone and draw a circle around my boots. A small outlaw ritual, a line saying this is where I stand. The stillness strikes, the bell twitched once more, like even it was waiting on my next breath. I gave it none, stillness was my weapon tonight. The bell that answered me. Let it ring again, not loud this time, but deeper, like a truth learning my name for the first time. The whole tower leaned back, dust felt like dead snowfall, and I walked out under that open sky, knowing the world never needed my voice to hear what I meant. Silence rose for the man who owns it, and I ain't losing mine, not to fear, not to death, not to God himself. Silence rose for the man who owns it.
rusted plane. A broken pillar standing like an old sinner, begging for one last prayer. Wrap around it that iron serpent, scales black as gun oil, joints cracking like a chain, losing patience. I walked in slow, boots hitting dead soil, the kind of ground that remembers every coward that tried to cross it. The snake lifted his head, glowing red eyes cut straight through me, like it knew every wrong turn I'd ever taken, the breath before the break. I didn't pull steel, didn't cuss, didn't pray. Just breathe out. Tired, steady, unmoving, like a man too damn done to flinch. Monsters kneel for the unshaken, and that iron monster froze right there in the dust. Eyes dim, fire drained, like it knew I wasn't on the menu tonight. Then it folded slow, crawling under my boots, a beast forged for killing, bowing like a dog that finally found its master. Even monsters kneel for the man who doesn't blink. Even steel learns fear when a man stands still. The ritual of not turning back, closed shot, its metal breath hitting my coat. Warm with old murders, cold with old regrets. I touched its head, felt centuries of rage, humming like a broken church bell. A voice rose in the wind, dry as bone and twice as mean. Walk away, or join the dead that tried. I spit in the sand, wiped the dust from my mouth and told whatever was listening, I don't walk back, not for you, not for hell. And the serpent lowered even farther, like hell itself got tired of arguing. Blood to metal, I dragged my fingertip across one of its cracked plates, let a drop of blood slide down its spine. A small outlaw vow, a covenant made without saints. Forward is the only gospel I got left, the beast that learned my name. The serpent curled in behind me as I step past the ruins, shadows stretching long like it chosen who it followed through the dark. Every breath I took, its body echoed it, not as a servant, not as a curse, but as something dangerous that finally found a reason to settle. Monsters bow for the man who won't blink. Fear breaks for the man who won't bend. And power walks with the man who don't run from himself. I moved on, it followed, and the night opened.
White shadow wasteland where a road once lived. Just broken bones of stone and dried up echoes. Folks said the trail got swallowed by time, 'cause no man had the guts to follow it to the end. He stood there like a shadow with a heartbeat, boots sinking into sand that didn't know its own history anymore. The wind kicked up old dust, and for a blink even the desert held its breath, waiting to see if he quit like the rest. Before the first step, he didn't pray, didn't look for signs, just shifted his weight forward like a man who'd already buried all his doubts. So stones rise for the willing, oh, lies for the willing, oh, lies for the willing. When his heel hit the ground, the earth lit up like embers, remembering their fire. Old stones cracked loose from the sand and lined up like soldiers waking to their commander. With every step he made, the road rebuilt itself, not fast, not desperate, just sure, like it recognized a man who moved with intent, not wishes. The path forms for the man who makes steps, not wishes, yeah. The path forms for the man who moves. A trail older than sin, medium shot, the stones ahead rising before his boots touched them, glowing faint blue like they've been waiting centuries for somebody with enough backbone to earn their way. He knelt once, touched the edge of a crack marker, felt heat under it like a buried heart remembering how to be. A whisper slithered through the wind, old as the bones beneath the sand. Turn back. He didn't even blink, just muttered under his breath, I don't turn, not for ghosts, not for God. And the desert heard him and obeyed the ritual of forward. He drew his finger across a shard of stone, let one drop of blood fall, a small outlaw ritual, a promise carved in silence. Forward means forward. Oh, I ask for the willing. Oh, I ask for the women. Oh, I ask for the will. The road stretched farther, wider, brighter, with every damn step he took. Ancient dust shook loose, broken markers stood tall again, and the whole desert tilted like it was guiding him toward whatever waited at the end. He didn't look back, didn't need to. Some men follow trails, some men search for maps, but him, roads remembered him. Roads rebuilt themselves for the man who dared move first. The path forms for the man who makes steps, not wishes. Oh, I ask for the willing. Oh, I ask for the willing. Oh, I ask for the willing. And he never wins. Oh, I ask for the willing. Oh, I ask for the willing. Oh, I ask for the willing. And the world rose to meet him.
light shot, dusk bleeding purple across the ridge. That abyss yawned open like a demon's throat, cold breath crawling up my boots, whispering every fear. I spent my life pretending I forgot. I stood on the lip of it, hands shaking just enough to make the truth honest. Old sins pressed on my spine, begging me to fall forward and finish what the dark started years ago. A step closer, half a step, but it felt like a mile of bone. The stone gathering, that's when the cliff started moving, chunks of earth tearing off each wall, like the canyon itself was sick of hearing me down. Fear breaks before I do. Between me and that whispering pit, building a wall where death used to sing my fear scream once, then vanished behind the rock like cowards running for cover. I stared at that wall, hands still shaking, heart still bruised but breathe steady for the first time in months. Terror breaks for the man who doesn't. Shot, my shadow stretched long across a new stone. I laid 2 fingers on the wall, felt the pulse of the canyon running through it, like a beast that finally respected the hand that faced it. A voice rose up from the cracks, not words, just the shape of my oldest wound. I muttered back, you had your chance, the wind shifted, carrying the scent of iron and no blood, but it blew past me this time, like even the dark knew better. The stone, let the flame mark that moment like a small stubborn ritual. A line of soot, a line of proof to turn. I whisper, if I fall, it'll be forward, not back. And the wall held firm, giving me permission I never asked for. The road that waits for no man. In front of me, a horizon that didn't dare turn its face. Fear don't own the man who steps through it, and every step I took felt like the land was relearning my name. Terror breaks for the man who doesn't, and I ain't breaking, not tonight, not ever.